Hi folks, welcome back to Stacey Can. Today I am preserving some roasted garlic jelly. It's another part of the winter canning series that I love to cover. So while I go over all the ingredients here, etc., you can follow along down below in the show notes. And while you're there, please hit like and subscribe because that does help. So the ingredients that you need, and this is like I said, it's a great winter canning thing. Great to do year round actually. So 3 medium heads of garlic, a tablespoon of olive oil that is divided, a tablespoon of balsamic vinegar that is divided, a cup of dry white wine, a half of a cup of white balsamic vinegar, a little note on that, a teaspoon of whole black peppercorns that are crushed, 3 tablespoons of lemon juice, 3 cups of sugar, and then 2 patches of liquid pectin. And so those are the ingredients. Now, regarding if you can't find white balsamic vinegar, it can be hard to find. And so you can use just the regular balsamic vinegar. It's just gonna give it a darker color and a much more robust flavor. So this is just gonna be a little bit lighter on the balsamic, but don't use less balsamic vinegar to offset the robust flavor. Because you're going to mess up the acid and it won't be, and the chemical work up here for safe shelf stability, so it can ruin that for you there, and then it would go bad on the shelf and be yucky. So anywho, so that's the side note there. Now the tools that you need, you do need a jelly bag or cheesecloth, and I forgot to grab those to show you, but a jelly bag or cheesecloth, because we will be combining all these ingredients and then letting them drain in a jelly bag or a cheesecloth. So, and then the other thing that you need to do, tools. So you need a canner. This makes 8 to 9, well, half pints, so, or 8 ounce containers. So you're gonna need a bigger, I can't use my small stock pot with this. It just makes a little bit too much. And you're gonna need I'm heating the lid, so I'm gonna use a little saucepan to do that because that's how I do it. Then you're also gonna need a funnel, a ladle, a jar lifter, your Headspace tool, and a lid lifter, because again, I'm heating the lid. So with all of that, let's go ahead and get started. With the garlic, to roast it, this is medium-sized garlic here. So we're gonna take a sharp knife, and we're just gonna cut the very top of this off. Be careful. Like so. And I know you're kind of leaving some extra garlicky pieces here, but this is essential for roasting. And now this is where the tablespoon of olive oil comes into play. You want to top each garlic head with some of the olive oil, a teaspoon of each. And then you do the same with the balsamic vinegar. I'm not using the best balsamic vinegar for this because I'm cooking with it, so it's a little bit runnier, but you can use a nicer balsamic vinegar if you want. I tend to use the good balsamic vinegars for caprese salads and such. That's me, you do you. And then you just take your foil, and we're gonna just loosely cover each one. You don't want to scrunch it too tight, but we're just going to loosely cover it like so, and stick it in your container for it to bake. I've got these all covered, and we're going to go ahead and stick them in the oven like so at 425 degrees for about 45 minutes to an hour. You want the garlic really nice and soft. So the garlic is done and it's cooled off. And just be careful. And now I'm just squeezing it, and it's a little hot potato, so be careful. And I'm just squeezing it into the pot here, a small saucepan or medium-sized saucepan. So I've got the garlic cloves in the medium saucepan here, and now I'm going to add the cup of dry white wine, 2/3 cup of water, the half a cup of white balsamic vinegar, a teaspoon of whole black peppercorns, but they have been crushed. And we're gonna bring this to a boil over medium heat. Okay, so this came to a boil. I've cut the heat and I'm covering it with a lid, and we're gonna let this steep for 15 minutes, so I've set a timer. All right, so the timer has gone off, 15-minute timer for this. And I have a jelly bag here that I've wet. I did get it wet, probably a little too wet. Take a little bit of the moisture out of that, a little too damp. And then remove the lid and pour this mixture into the jelly bag. I'm gonna let this drip for 30 minutes just to make sure all the juices come out of this lovely mixture here. It smells amazing. The 30-minute timer has gone off, so I am taking the jelly bag off here. And then I'm gonna measure out to make sure we've got 1 2/3 cups. Now I don't quite have up to 1 2/3 cups, so I am adding, you can add up to 1/4 cup of either the wine or water. And I'm adding wine because I don't need a whole bunch more. And now let's get to making jelly. All the good roasted garlic juice here. And we're putting this into a saucepan. And I'm also adding the measured out 3 cups of sugar. I know this is a lot, but it's a jelly. That's what happens. And then also the 3 tablespoons of lemon juice. Definitely need that acid with this. And I'm gonna be giving it a good stir, and we're gonna bring this up to a rolling boil. All right, now we're gonna move fast. So I've got it's come to a rolling boil that you can't stir away. And then you wanna add in the pectin, the liquid pectin. And then bring this back up to a rolling boil that you can't stir away. And now I've set a timer for 1 minute after putting in the pectin, the liquid pectin. And I've got everything all set up ready to go because this is gonna move fast. All right, we've got this came to a minute is over now, and this is where you can quickly stir the foam, or scrape, what's it called? You can remove the foam if you would like. There isn't a whole lot of foam here, so I'm not going to. But now we are going to go ahead and start jarring everything up. All right, so I've got my jars have been heating up in the canner here. And I am filling the jars to a 1/4 inch headspace. And I am not bubbling. We've got to just add a little bit more here. And careful, the pot is very, very hot. I'm not bubbling. I don't bubble with jams and jellies because it just sets up so quickly. So, and I think when you bubble with the jam and jelly, you can actually put more bubbles into it if it's setting up. So I don't choose to do that. And I'm cleaning the room really well with the lid water here and using the lid lifter to get my lid. And then you just want to carefully add your rim, and it's super hot, that's why I say carefully. And then up and over and into that canner it goes. Got all the jars here in the stock pot, which I chose to use instead of the canner because it actually, instead of 9 8 ounces, I read that wrong. It was actually 9 4 ounces, and I don't use 4 ounce jars, so or I don't have that many, so I used 8 ounces, half pints. So anywho, I've got all the jars here in my stock pot, and I've set the heat up to high, and when it comes to a rolling boil, I'll set the timer. I got a rolling boil going here, so I've set the timer for 10 minutes for my altitude. For more information on altitude, you can check down below in the show notes or off to the side for your area. The 10-minute timer has gone off, so I'm going to go ahead and cut the heat here. I'm taking a towel and I'm very carefully opening the lid away from my face. That is a facial you do not want. And I'm going to set another timer for 5 minutes, and this will allow the jars here in the canner or pot to allow the food to settle in the jars, and it helps with the sealing process. The 5-minute timer has gone off, so I'm going ahead and remove the jars one at a time. And isn't that a lovely color? This is how we make roasted garlic jelly. It's very good. I know I say that about pretty much everything I make, but this is very good. It's really unique. You can really taste the roasted garlic in it, and it is sweeter, but it'll make a fantastic glaze or marinade. I would take a couple of tablespoons out and add a little bit of olive oil and maybe just a splash or two of vinegar, just to get yourself oh gosh, you can do the same thing making salad dressing with it, adding some olive oil and vinegar to it with some salt and pepper. You can use that as a salad dressing or as a marinade. If you want more of a marinade or a glaze though, maybe you want it a little bit thicker, so you would add less of the olive oil and vinegar. But oh boy howdy, and it would be fantastic over a really nice crunchy rich bread. Oh, it would be really lovely over that. It's very savory, it's sweet with the sugar, but it's also incredibly savory too. And it's just the roasted garlic, boy, it really packs a beautiful punch to it. So very, very tasty. The recipe, and as you can tell, it did say about 9 little 4-ounce jars. I don't have 9. I don't often have those little tiny jars. So I just ended up with 4 8-ounce jars, which are the half pints. So that works better for me anyways, less storage. So that's how you do it. The recipe and all the information is down below in the show notes. And while you're down there, please hit like and subscribe, because that does help. And if you have any questions, comments, suggestions, feedback, concerns, by all means, please reach out to me. I'm on Facebook at Stacey Can. You can add me on Instagram and TikTok at Stacey Can. My website is www.staceycancan.com. My email is info@staceycancan.com. And I'm also on LinkedIn and Pinterest at Stacey Can. Thanks so much for joining me today, and until next time.